Would everybody raise your right arm just as high as you can, please? Just raise your right arm as high as you can. Okay, now, just a little bit higher. A little higher? Okay, good, 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 good. Thank you very much. See, now notice the instructions. I asked you to raise your arm as high as you could, but you didn't, did you? Okay, it wasn't until I coached you a little bit and pushed you a little bit that you actually did that little bit more that you wouldn't naturally have done on your own without a little bit of coaching. It has to do with pushing people just a little bit further than what you would naturally go on your own accord. What are the things, the key fundamentals to making a huge difference in any business, almost in any economy? Because in the last couple of years, you'll see some of the results. Our clients have had tremendous results even in this economic environment. Because it sure seems like, I know when you're a business owner, you're sort of banging around, always trying to figure out what's going to really work. And you spend a lot of money on different marketing techniques, and you do this, you do that, you try different approaches, and it just seems like it's tough to figure out what's really working, right? All right, so what are some things, what's one or two things that you got that were excuses that you might be willing to take on? Just anybody. Hands up high, somebody? Okay, distractions. So you're going to look for some techniques for getting really focused. But try to get that really actionable for yourself. Like specifically, what are you going to do? What are the most important 6 things I need to do today? And you can get a little list the night before. Not the big, long to-do lists, right? They wear you out. That creates tremendous focus and discipline around getting things done. Okay? So you might want to try to think about taking that on. When you're working on something and you get distracted, research shows up to a 25% loss in productivity. How many times during your day are you allowing yourself to be distracted over stuff that's not important? Anybody here eating frogs for breakfast? It comes from Mark Twain, who said if you ate a frog for breakfast, nothing worse would happen to you the rest of the day. Right? So the metaphor here is whatever your top list of things are that you have to take on, take the hardest one on, take that on first. So that would be something to think about. So what's the most important thing? Take that on first thing in the morning. So I'm going to work on this for 1 hour and then move on to the next thing. Just a couple of little techniques. These are things that we really help our clients with implementation, getting specific things, accountability. It makes a huge difference when you actually find ways to get focused on your most important things. What people do, and many of our clients do this, one of the little techniques is you actually track what you're spending your time on. I mean, go keep a log, just for 1 week. I know it's a pain, but the value to you of keeping a log on where you actually are spending your time during the day, it's going to scare you, the insights you're going to get. I mean, what would that be like if you started actually noticing time that you're spending on things that low value or maybe somebody else could do? Okay, think about the value of your time and where are you spending it that maybe you wouldn't have to. Who in here knows Einstein's definition of insanity? Who's heard that? Yeah, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? Here's what Einstein pointed out. Einstein said, our current thinking will always get us our current result. It's not possible for anything else to occur. What are the things that lead to our results? Anybody? What leads to whatever result we have? Our thoughts, right, but then our thoughts lead to what? Actions. Yeah, actions, decisions. Right, we say it either in our heads or out loud, and then we do it. All right, so whatever our little voice is saying, it says because that's what our thinking is. So we evaluate things, we make our decisions. So whatever you have today, wherever you are in your life, is the perfect result of the actions and decisions you made at some point in the past, right? So our thinking will always get us our current result. Now, inside the world of thinking, there's sort of 3 components. There's what we know, right? There's lots of things that we know. I mean, I know I'm a great father. I know I'm a great husband. I know a lot about healthcare administration. I mean, really. I mean, there are things for all of us. We know that. And then there's another small sliver of activity out there where we know we don't know something. When we know we don't know certain things. I know I don't know anything about brain surgery. I know a lot about healthcare, but I don't know really much about brain surgery. You wouldn't want me to be operating on your brain, right? But there's one component which is the biggest component, and what is that? Yeah, what we don't know, we don't know. Exactly. Give me some of that. You're right. It's what we don't know, we don't know. And that's the biggest part. So if we actually want to get new results, we've got to find out how ways of getting windows into that space of new thinking, of what we don't know, we don't know. Because Einstein pointed out you're never going to get a new result with your current thinking. You've got to find a way to get new thinking that helps you get windows into that space. Okay? What if you started taking on reading and learning? What if you started taking on understanding business financials more? Every business owner I ever worked with needs help in that area. Do you think that's true, yes or no? Yes. Yeah. You all know you need help in that area. But what are you doing about it? Okay, so these are the things that I'm trying to get you to see, that without getting new knowledge and getting into a plan and taking action on that, you're never going to get a new result. All right, so here's my question for you. You know, how much longer are you going to be okay with what's happening right now? I mean, you've all said you know a lot of these things we're talking about, but you're not taking action to do them. So when? A few more weeks? A couple months? Planning is the next key. So we've talked about mindset. We've talked about the fundamentals. So before we go to planning, what's one or two things that might come up for you in this whole idea of the fundamentals that you might be able to go back and look at or implement in your businesses? Just trying to get you thinking about taking some action, okay? It's the kind of plan that you're going to use to keep yourself accountable to the key things that you need to be doing. But will you do it without some sort of outside influence and really, you know, keep it updated? Because it makes a huge difference. How much of a difference does it make? Huge. Huge. We see this all the time. Somewhere along the line, people have lost their dreams about what's really possible, so they sort of settle. They settle for what is probably going to happen. And what they're leaving on the table is what's possible. And that delta is what I want you all to be able to have, if that's what you want. Start rethinking what would be actually possible if I took on some of these issues and really started focusing on the key business principles and started focusing on continuous learning and started focusing on planning and working on my own mindset and taking responsibility for everything. It could just be so exciting for you. That's why I'm so passionate about helping people to get to that.